with their taxpayers' money.
So
Did
you just say with a straight face, Mike Tapp, that you don't think we are a soft country?
I think we're a compassionate country,
Mike
but we're
Tapp,
firm
Mike
and we
Tapp,
do the right thing.
We have got people, I'm telling you now, my viewers will be screaming at their screens. We have got people in 4-star hotels.
Oh, come on.
How can you say that we are not a soft... We are the
And apparently they're getting Gucci tracksuits as well. Come on.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Julian Discourse. Before we dive in, please make sure to like and subscribe. Watch Michelle Dewberry completely corner Labour MP Mike Tapp as he desperately tries to boast about record deportations. When Dewberry fact-checks him and exposes that the government is padding those numbers with voluntary returns, literally paying people up to 3,000 less of your taxpayer money to leave, all while illegal channel crossings are up 40%, watch him panic, deflect, and dodge. It perfectly exposes an out-of-touch political establishment that expects working-class voters to simply believe their elite spin instead of what they can see with their own 2 eyes. Watch this.
Your party, I would put to you, you're misleading the public when you talk about these record deportations. Tell me what you mean. When you think you've achieved record deportations, what are you talking about?
Well, it's removals and deportations, and the difference between that is some of them are taken in handcuffs and some aren't. But the fact is they shouldn't be here, so they're leaving. Yeah, but whether it's deportation or removal...
But Mike, with respect, you did tweet. You tweeted multiple times, you used the phrase record deportations, which include all of those numbers. It's not true.
Because the public don't care whether they're removed in handcuffs or not. They just care.
Well, they care if it's record deportations, which it isn't. As your Prime Minister actually just said there, your leader Keir Starmer literally said the highest number in 10 years.
He said
well, you said, so if the word deportation, that 24,000 number, that includes, by the way, only a small minority of those are actually what you call enforced removals, which is the ones that you're talking about in handcuffs. But a significant percentage of, a third of those, Mike, a third of that 24,000 that you guys keep boasting about and celebrating, a third of those are by the Home Office's own admission, and you can go and look at BBC Verify where they actually do this analysis, are individuals where the government played no role, and in most cases, actually the government had no idea about them at all. Not to say nothing of the fact that far more than 24,000, Mike, far more than that 24,000 that you're celebrating that you've deported as Labour, have arrived in this country via small boat across the Channel since Keir Starmer came to power. So the net number of illegal migration into this country has gone up under Keir Starmer. And yes, the Tories totally lost control of our borders. Right. You are a drunk driver that has replaced them and made it you have made it infinitely worse. And actually, one of the things that is very frustrating, I think, for us at Reform, and I think a lot of people watching this, Mike, is that the Tories were so busy fighting amongst themselves that they never claimed they were solving this problem. Labour is making the problem worse and simultaneously claiming that they're solving it. And I think that's pernicious, and I think it's totally unbecoming of public office. I really do.
Of the channel crossings, one of the things that's really upset a lot of people's ear, Youssef, is the information that came to light from Serco, who of course is a housing company that's got contracts to house these asylum seekers. It went onto their website, this whole list of places that they're looking for private rental accommodation. As a landlord, you'll be sitting there going, hang on a second, what a deal. 5-year contract, above market rent, maintenance costs and all the rest of it taken care of, utility bills paid, you name it. I mean, it's almost enough, ladies and gents, to make you want to get on a dinghy on your own, isn't it? But anyway, people are furious about this here, Youssef.
It's so appalling. When I first saw it, I thought it was a parody. But it's utterly disgusting. And one of the interesting things, and Serco have now taken the website down, but I think it's now, you can go and view it on Archive if you go on X. It's on the web archive. But there's a word that stood out to me, because obviously the communication in which they were talking about this, how they're going to disperse illegal immigrants into, frankly, largely deprived areas in this country, it was addressed to landlords, and they used the word, and this stuck in my mind, they used the word delighted, Michelle. They said, we're delighted to announce this.
Well, I bet they really hammered home of their profit margin.
It hammered home how there are many in this country who make a great deal of money from what we call the illegal immigration industrial complex, including Serco, by the way. Those contracts are worth billions and billions of pounds, extended by this Labour government, which is evidence that they actually know deep down that there is no chance that any of these problems are going to be solved under Keir Starmer. It's appalling. And it's appalling in a multifaceted way, Michelle, because it's appalling because these people have obviously, the first act upon coming to this country was to break our laws, and now they're going to be given free accommodation. It's appalling because that accommodation is going to be paid for at the behest of those deprived communities into which they are going to be housed. And it's appalling because one of the most devastating things you hear on the doorstep all the time is how hard it is for people to find housing of any sort. So we know we have a massive shortage of housing in this country for people who have been born and raised here and given everything to this country, who have contributed to this country with taxes for decades. They can't get housing. Priority is being given, and people are going to the front of the queue having coming here illegally. That is why this Serco story has caught the zeitgeist right now. It is utterly infuriating, and it's exactly the sort of thing, by the way, Michelle, that Nigel will put a stop to very quickly when he's the Prime Minister.
Well, I'll come back to how...
They're risking their lives to come to the UK because the UK is a soft touch, and the people watching this programme, Mike, the people watching this programme are having to fund with their taxpayers' money.
Did you just say with a straight face, Mike Tapp, that you don't think we are a soft touch?
I think we are a compassionate country,
Mike
but we're
Tapp,
firm and we do the right thing.
We have got people, I'm telling you now, my viewers will be screaming at their screens. We have got people in 4-star hotels.
Oh, come on.
How can you say that we are not a soft touch? We are the
and apparently they're getting Gucci tracksuits as well. Come on, let's be realistic.
Are you disputing that people are in 4-star hotels?
One of your other stories a few weeks ago is that they're getting nice clothes.
Are you disputing that they are in 4-star hotels? Sorry,
there may well be one or two.
Come off it. You see, I think you lot have not even got a remote grip on the issue.
There was a story around tracksuits the other day. Have you seen them? They're like prison tracksuits.
I couldn't care less about the tracksuits.
Well, it was a story on GB News.
I tell you, I worry for the future of this country. Serco said that housing migrants in private rented accommodation is dramatically cheaper than in hotel accommodation. What a mess. What an absolute mess.
What you just watched is the real-time exposure of an establishment that has entirely surrendered the UK border and is now trying to gaslight the public with manipulated statistics. When the Labour MP boasts about a record 24,000 deportations, he is relying on the public not reading the fine print. As Michelle Dewberry brilliantly exposed, a massive chunk of those are not forced removals of criminals in handcuffs. They are voluntary returns, where the UK government is literally handing out up to 3,000 in taxpayer cash to bribe people to leave. That isn't border enforcement. That is a taxpayer-funded travel agency for people who broke the law to get here. But the most devastating part of this debate is the housing scandal. Let's look at the actual facts. We have a government contractor, Serco, actively soliciting private landlords with guaranteed 5-year contracts, above market rent, and all maintenance paid, specifically to house asylum seekers. This is a multi-billion-pound illegal immigration industrial complex operating in broad daylight. While young British citizens are priced out of their own hometowns and working-class families wait years on housing lists, the state is rolling out the red carpet for unvetted men who crossed the channel illegally. And why does this keep happening? Because the political class completely refuses to touch the root of the problem, the European Convention on Human Rights. Since the ECHR was integrated into domestic UK law via the Human Rights Act of 1998, activist judges have been handed the power to block nearly every meaningful deportation. Because the state is legally paralyzed from actually removing people, the government is forced to resort to bribing migrants to leave or outbidding citizens to put them up in private rentals. This exchange matters because it exposes a credentialed elite that demands absolute compliance and high taxes from everyday citizens, while prioritizing the comfort of illegal arrivals over the basic needs of the native population. They are entirely insulated from the consequences. When government contractors buy up local housing, they don't do it in the affluent, gated neighborhoods where politicians live. They do it in working-class communities that are already stretched to the breaking point. The public is absolutely exhausted by this spin. They can see the reality on their own streets, and no amount of fake statistics will ever cover it up.